I was talking to a Vietnam-era crew chief who finally pulled his MOS school certificate. It said he spent 6-hour shifts under wings, hands over his head. That single certificate turned a no clear event denial into a connection the VA could follow. I'm Cameron Burrell, and today we'll show you how your MOS and training can do the same for you.
Welcome to the Veteran Benefits Reset Podcast. Quick promise, by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what MOS details to pull.
And the one thing to do right now, request your MOS job description and one training certificate. Put them in a folder called VA Evidence.
Sounds simple, right? Good, because small documented steps build the strongest claims.
So first, what is an MOS in the way that matters to a VA reviewer? It's not just a code. It's a list of duties, environments, and required training that explains what you did, how often you did it, and the typical hazards you faced.
Why does that matter? Because the VA is trying to connect a current condition with service. Your MOS helps translate military tasks into the kinds of facts a reviewer understands: actions, frequency, and exposure.
Where do those MOS details live? Think manuals, rating guides, and personnel databases.
If you don't already have one, your DD-214 or your branch's personnel portal will list MOS codes and dates. That's a starting point.
Then go hunt training certificates, course completion cards, DA or Navy training logs, unit histories, and morning reports that show how often you did the job. Ask who in your unit might still have a copy.
If you need official files, submit requests to the National Personnel Records Center or use your branch's personnel portal. For medical records, use MyHealthVet, VA portals, or the service medical channels. Keep a log of what you requested and when. That record helps if you appeal. Now, how do you translate duties into evidence? Start with specific actions. Did your job require lifting above shoulder height, long periods of vibration, heavy tool use, or exposure to fuels and solvents? Those facts are what connect tasks to potential injury or exposure.
Be specific about frequency and duration. Daily for 6-hour shifts tells a different story than occasionally. Frequency and duration are what turn a plausible link into a credible one for a reviewer.
Concrete examples help. An avionics tech who logged hours working in cramped cockpits may have repetitive overhead work tied to shoulder and neck complaints. A fuel specialist who handled tanks and bladders with documented contact hours can show potential dermal or inhalation exposure, plus strain from lifting and handling.
A medic or corpsman who treated multiple casualties might not have a single injury on record, but unit after-action reports and duty logs can show repeated stressors, sleep disruption, and exposure to traumatic events. Again, describe the work and exposure. Don't diagnose.
When you build a packet, focus on 3 pillars: MOS and training documents, medical records from service and post-service, and lay or employment statements showing how the condition affects work. Those 3 together tell a clear, traceable story.
Here's a short checklist you can speak to as you gather records. MOS job description with task list. At least one training certificate tied to the task. Service treatment records with dates near the duty in question. Unit logs or after-action reports showing frequency or exposures. A buddy statement from someone who saw the work. And any civilian or VA records showing ongoing impact. Label files clearly and order them logically. Example file names: MOS job description 88M 1999, or Training Fuel Handling 2002 CERT. Add a 1-page cover letter that plainly explains how the MOS task relates to the claimed condition. Reviewers read that first.
Common mistakes to avoid. Don't be vague. I did heavy work is weak compared to I lifted 75 100-pound landing gear components above shoulder height daily for 6 to 8 hours. Don't assume MOS equals automatic proof. You still need evidence you performed the task and that it relates to your condition. Also,
Don't overstate exposures or let a single document carry the claim. The strength is in how the pieces fit together. If you're unsure, have an accredited VSO or representative review the packet before you submit.
Before we wrap up, one practical action to take right now. Request the official MOS job description from your branch's personnel documentation and request at least one training certificate that ties to the task you think caused or worsened the condition. Put both documents into a folder marked VA Evidence and add a 2-sentence note explaining how the job task relates to the claim. That small step turns memory into documented evidence.
Recap. Use your MOS to show what you did, pair it with training and medical notes, add lay statements and employment impact, and organize everything with a clear cover letter. This episode is educational, not legal or medical advice. For complex claims, reach out to a VA-accredited Veterans Service Organization or accredited representative to review your packet.
Thanks for listening to the Veteran Benefits Reset podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, follow the podcast, leave a review, and share it with another veteran who could benefit. Download your free 7-step Veteran Benefits Reset Guide at vetbizmedia.com/veterans7. And remember, your service did not expire. Your story is still worth reviewing. Take the next responsible step.